House of the Dragon Episode 4 Trailer Explained. With Episode 3 of the show recently being released, it showed us the rising conflict that's heading in the direction of the Targaryen house. With the threat of the crab feeder now neutralized and it looking like the house is now split in three, the trailer for Episode 4 certainly alluded to that too, with the tensions rising even higher. So with that, I thought I'd break down the trailer and explain all that there was to take away from it. So let's get into it. Here is House of the Dragon Episode 4 Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The trailer opened up with Rahenyra looking as though she was reading an extract, and it read as, "From my blood come the prince that was promised, and his will be the song of ice and fire." I believe this was something that was spoken from Aegon I, and this scene looks as though it's going to be similar to what we saw at the end of the first episode in the season. That was where King Viserys informed Rahenyra of the secret that gets passed down from king to heir. In episode 1, he held the Valyrian Steel Dagger when he said secret, and it looks as though once the blade is heated over a flame, it reveals markings which could contain some important information from Aegon's reign and the prophecy. The prince that was promised is referring to a prophesied leader or savior that was said to be able to save the world from darkness, something that was similar to what we saw in the Game of Thrones series. We had some really interesting shots as this line was being spoken. We had Otto Hightowers walking around the throne with him not taking his eyes off of it, showing his wider plans and intentions to cement his family and claim the throne with the hopes of getting Aegon II, his grandson, to be named heir. Over the words ice and fire, we had both Daemon and Alicent being brought up on screen, briefly showing the two opposing sides. After this, we had King Viserys stating, "The House of the Dragon will stand as one for a further generation," as he puts his crown upon his head in front of the Iron Throne. There is what seems to be the voice of a street performer uttering the words, "Who will it be? The brother, the daughter, or the little princeling of three?" This makes me think that this is all the talk of Westeros. Exactly what was predicted is going to happen, in the sense that there's going to be an uproar from the people and the council due to the fact that it doesn't look like Viserys is going to change his mind about Rahenyra despite him having a son. As the camera was on Daemon, he walked into where the king was seated and claimed that he was now referred to as the King of the Narrow Sea. This is likely going to be due to the fact that he took the stepstones off of the Triarchy when he defeated the crab feeder, so he's now the ruler of that area. In the books, it's actually Corlys Velaryon who actually placed the crown upon his head, so this could well be mimicked in the show. We also saw later on in the trailer that when he entered, he wasn't met with the kindest of responses as the king's guards had their swords pointed directly towards him, showing the arrogant nature from Daemon is still present and still unwanted. I imagine he's even more arrogant now because he defeated the crab feeder by himself without the need or help from his brother. Following this, we had the scene where they mentioned the daughter, and Viserys said, "Your courtship is at an end." This was as she was sat with Mormont Baratheon and Sir Criston Cole. But I don't think this scene is related to those lines. We know Rahenyra doesn't want to get married, as she mentioned in previous episodes, so maybe she could be courting with somebody and it's public knowledge and the king wants to put a stop to it. Judging by what we've seen so far, the only person I'd say it could be would be Sir Criston Cole. The whole idea is for the house to be strengthened by the relationships and marriages that occur, and her not following tradition could be causing the political headache that she mentioned moments later. When we heard the little princeling of three, we witnessed a shot of Alicent looking as though she was holding a child, but it doesn't seem to be Aegon II. I think it could well be his sister. Aegon II's sister was born 2 years after him, and as we've seen, we've jumped 2 years between episodes 2 and 3. We've seen multiple time jumps throughout the episodes, and I don't think it's going to slow down. I think this could just be representing one of the children that Viserys and Alicent are going to have together. We know that they have 4 children in total, so the street performer mentioning 3 could mean that we're at the time period where the king and Alicent have now had 3 of their children, establishing whereabouts in the time frame we are. The second half of the trailer was something that brought a little more of a dark turn and what looked like a slight change in direction. Otto told the king that he had some discomforting news that we don't find out in the trailer. However, we did see Rahenyra respond and say that it was a vile accusation. So it leads me to believe that it's going to be something about her, especially the fact that she's a problem in the eyes of Otto and the council. Something could well be made up about her to damage her reputation in the eyes of the people, and to make them not want her to be next in line to the throne. Judging by the shot that we had after Rahenyra responded, we had 2 hands intertwining in an intimate nature, It could well be about somebody that Rahenyra may have spent a night with. In the books, she does end up marrying her uncle Daemon, so maybe there's a rumour or gossip going round about the pair being with each other. However, the Targaryens have an incestual nature, so I'm not 100% sure it would be that. In terms of the world that we've established thus far, something that would be considered vile containing the characters that we've got could be aimed towards her younger half-brother and half-sister. Maybe there's a rumour going round about how she may want to cause harm to her younger brother or sister to secure her place on the Iron Throne for certain. The king goes on to ask who started the gossip as he'd take their eyes, and once this happened, the trailer then lingered on Otto, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. He was giving off the feeling of a Littlefinger type of character throughout the entirety of the show so far, so he could most definitely be the person spreading the rumours. Himself or Alicent, as they would have the most to gain from it. A line that could further support it would be when Alicent stated, "It's not in Rhaenyra's nature to be deceitful, but I cannot say the same for your brother." This makes me think that she could well be trying to push the direction towards Daemon, as he's an easy target due to his disobedient nature in the past. We then had scenes of what looked like Daemon walking off through King's Landing at night with his hood up, and also Rhaenyra separately looking like she was running or escaping something. I get the sense that Rhaenyra and Daemon are going to become public enemy number one following the lies or gossip that's being spread, so a departure could well be what they're setting up, along with the larger time jump that we're set to get halfway through the season. The final shot that we had was of Rhaenyra on a ship along with Sir Criston Cole, and it looked as though Daemon's dragon knocked it. I doubt Daemon would want to bring harm to his niece, so maybe this was an accidental encounter. The episode looks as though it's going to be a real explosive one, and a real disruption is going to be present. It looks as though the king's going to face a choice. Despite the fact that he stood by Rhaenyra, with the gossip, Otto and his schemes, the council, and the people of Westeros not having as much faith as what Viserys does, it could lead his mind to be changed. I'm looking forward to seeing what exactly the episode is going to bring. So, there you have it. House of the Dragon Episode 4 Trailer Explained. If you want to see more videos on House of the Dragon, such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you want to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.